is good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and we are back here for another one. Do me a favor as you come in. As always, please smash the like button. Subscribe if you are new. Ladies and gentlemen, week 6 is upon us. The Carolina Panthers, and guess what? The Dolphins are in prime position to start 5-1 for the first time in 20 plus years. My lord, ladies and gentlemen, what a time to be alive for the Miami Dolphin fan base right now. And shout out tonight, he gifts one membership. And Jeffrey Ward. He is the recipient of that fantastic gesture by Knight, as he is now a member of the channel. Speaking of the channel members, guys, I'm finally doing it tonight. I'm finally getting it up tonight. I'm going to get up that written version of 3 takes I did a couple days ago for Patreons, talking about stuff going on with the defense. And for those Patreons, listen, hey, all of you Patreons, I'm going to have a new episode of 3 takes. I'm gonna have a new episode of 3 takes for y'all tomorrow. Be out on the lookout to each one of you. Hey man, it's good stuff coming down the pipeline for all of y'all. Sorry, I'm just getting sidetracked with stuff right here. I'm getting blown up. Now, ladies and gentlemen, who watched Thursday Night Football? Raise your hand, because I know I did. And was I the only one sitting back and wondering, oh, guys, I thought it's the Denver Broncos. We put up 70. Why aren't the Chiefs putting up 70? Huh? Well, what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen? Someone tell me what happened. I'll be the first one to tell you Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL when you're talking about all-around package. But is he playing like the best quarterback in the NFL right now? No, that's Tua Tagovailoa, Brock Purdy. And I've been saying that, and I will say that. But that's still not to take away from Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is the best all-around quarterback in the NFL right now. I will say that. When you talk about the package, talk about the traits, the talent, the production, the package, there's no doubt about it. But we're talking about playing at the top level right now. It's Purdy and Tua, but I digress. Where's the 70 points, ladies and gentlemen? I thought they would have put up 90. What's happening here? Someone explain to me. I thought it was just the Broncos. Everyone downplayed Tua Tagovailoa in that effort. Listen, I didn't downplay it. I said we got to get on to the Bills. And I was right. I wasn't wrong. I was right. But everyone downplayed that effort. Everyone's downplaying, and they've downplayed it in different levels, whether it's that game or result of that game. Now, what do I mean by a result of that game? When we talk about how historic this offense has been over the first 5 weeks, that's one of the things that's pointed to. Well, they padded it against the Denver Broncos. Well, my friends, why couldn't the Chiefs do it then? Why did they not even come close? Because we are witnessing a historic offense in Miami. The point stands even stronger after what we saw the Chiefs do. I mean, I'm watching a 60-0 at one point. What the hell am I watching? The first 2 minutes of a basketball game, and one team went on a 16-0 run? That ain't a football game. What the hell am I watching there? Anyways, I gotta be the one to say. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be the one to say. I will be at the game. So here is my good luck dono, says Swamp Donkey Crypto. Swamp Donkey, I hope you have a fantastic time at the game. I know it's fan weekend. Listen, I'm eyeing that Titans game, but the real thing I'm eyeing as we keep winning here, like the Dolphins are eyeing names on the trade deadline, I am eyeing coming to a playoff game. I'm saving the bread all up and stacking it up for blowing it on a nice playoff. I'm hoping, listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. I love each and every one of you. But if we got home field advantage at the divisional round, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I might not be live for that. You might get a post-game show, me half in the bag, but I want to go. If we're going to have a playoff game at home, I'm dropping the ducats on that. Let's be honest of what I'm seeing right now. The Chiefs are mortal. Time to strike. I agree. Let's put them in a bun and make him a real Frankfurt hot dog out in Germany when we're done with them. Because I'm telling you, if our defense can contain, if our defense can do the job, if it can continue building off the stride it's hit, because, I mean, let's really think about this here, okay? And you can say the competition or whatever. I don't care. But since the Chargers game, 3 of the 4 games, we've been happy with the defensive performance, albeit I can still recognize how bad the Giants' offensive line was. I can recognize all that stuff. But there's positives in there to build off of, i.e., we saw better tackling this past weekend at times. Now, were there still issues at points? Sure. But we saw better tackling generally, and we saw what this defense, not just you fans, but this defense got a taste of what they can be as a unit if they get that front 4 pass rush going. They got a taste. So let's hope, they're like sharks in the water. They got a taste of blood, and now they want the full carcass. You know what I'm saying? So let's go. You're not wrong, because it's the time to strike night. I agree with you 110%. Swamp Donkey Crypto says another dono for a 70 burger for Carolina. Man, I'm going to tell you this right now. We're 11 minutes into my preview show, and I'm mentally, as I'm talking to you guys, I'm still struggling with my final score prediction. I know a range I'm in, but I'm still struggling because, Neil said it best. How many times are we going to predict this team to score over 30 and, their opponent to score in the teens somewhere? Holy jeez, and we're going to get into it, but I do think we got to talk about it a little bit before we even get into everything. If you haven't seen the deal, Connor Williams is out. Connor Williams will not be starting this weekend. Now, there's many factors we're going to talk about when we get to the injury report that impact this. Now, here's the thing. They were said McDaniel told us today that he wouldn't practice today because they needed to find out more information. McDaniel did say Williams did not tear his groin or do something significant, quote unquote, do something more significant to worsen his groin. He said, quote unquote, it's maintenance of something as opposed to the injury getting worse. We want to do best to not have it linger all season. Maybe they see this as get him healthy. We can beat the Panthers without you. Because we're going to beat up on that offense enough. Go get healthy. We need you for that 3-game stretch. We need this guy for the 3-game stretch. Come on, man. You can't have that weakness. Here's the thing. You cannot have that weakness rolling into New England because Belichick will try and exploit. Let's call it what it is. So you can't have that. You just can't. You can't afford it. And listen, I think Jalen Carter's hurt this weekend potentially. But listen, all of y'all Christian Wilkins truthers, I've told y'all I would have taken him. 16, 18 million, sign me up. I stand by 20 plus million. Hell to the now. To the now. That ain't happening. I stand by what I said in the draft. I would have traded Christian Wilkins for the pick to draft Jalen Carter. This guy has almost 30 pressures right now. He's incredible. Jalen Carter is incredible. And he's not even a starter. He has 3.5 sacks already. He's not even the starter. He has like 30 pressures, and he's not even the starter right now. Holy jeez, Jalen Carter is going to be absolutely, that guy is going to be, I think you're talking Ndamukong Suh prime level. That's what that kid's going to be, man. I don't think everyone realized how special this kid was. He's the best player in the draft right now. That's, I will say, even with CJ Stroud playing the level he's playing at right now, and Puka playing at the level he's playing at, and Achane playing at the level, I will say Jalen Carter's the best player in the draft right now. 110%. Oh my God. Give me, I would have traded that all day and twice on Sundays. Oh, we would have got our 4-man rush pressure, but I digress. My point is, you need Connor for what's awaiting us against Philly. You need Connor for what's awaiting us with Belichick, because we can say what we want. We've already seen him throw everything in the kitchen sink. If he's licking his chops because Liam's hurt, I don't want, you know what I mean? Because he's a Liam Billy Eichenberg. Y'all already know what time it is. And then we got to deal with the Chiefs. We got to deal with Chris Jones and stuff. So, I mean, this is real stuff in that 3-game stretch. Get healthy, sir. We need you more than ever for that stretch. 110%, Connor. Please get healthy for the love of everything holy. We need you for that 3-game stretch. There's just no doubt about it. All right? So please, everyone, smash that like button. Subscribe if you are new. Appreciate each and everyone. As usual, thank you to all my YouTube and Patreon supporters, the channel members, the Patreon supporters. Y'all really do a big thing for helping this channel keep churning, keep moving, keep getting better. We got some big things in the work on the horizon, so you already know when I do things, I do them to the top level, and it's because of all of you. Thank you very much. I appreciate each and every one of you for supporting the channel. And hey, if you can't financially support, whatever the case may be, do me the favor. It costs nothing. It takes 2 seconds. Smash the like button. And if you are subscribed, make sure to ring that little bell. Click that little bell button so you're notified every time I go live. Let's get into it. Let's start previewing the battle of the former Bama quarterbacks, because this is the first time Bryce Young and Tua Tagovailoa will have ever met. So there's some underlying layers here. And remember, Bryce Young said this week, Tua Tagovailoa is one of the reasons he committed to Alabama. And remember, Tua Tagovailoa changed the way Nick Saban and Alabama operated, becoming far more pass happy than they had been in previous years when they were a run-dominant team, because Tua Tagovailoa is that talented of a passer, and we're seeing it at the NFL level right now. Let's get into it. So, for all of you, because I know it's a fan weekend for Doll fans, so I know there's a bunch of you going down, so I do know this matters to all of you, and that is the weather report for each and every one of you, and this is where we're at for it. So it's going to get up to feeling like 97. Man, y'all living it down there. I'm up here in Canada. The leaves are falling. Autumn's rolled in. Man, but it's weird up here because football smells different for me than it all smells for y'all, because I remember it through high school and college. The smell of when football was in the air, it's got that autumn smell to me, so I associated it mentally with it. It's a different. Anyways, we're not going there. So week 6, Panthers at Dolphins. It's gonna feel like 97, low feeling 95. You're gonna have some gusts from the west to southwest from 12 to 13 miles per hour. Now it's gonna feel like 97 and 95 to 97, but it's gonna be about 87 to 88. There are chance of rain showers. It's about 27%. So you're right around 30% right there. Cloud cover is going to be in effect, though, like 66 to 67% by the end of the game. The clouds will be out there. The humidity will be about 66% to start the game. As it wears down and get into the afternoon, to get down to about 63%. So, listen, there is a chance of precipitation. There are going to be winds, and you can see the gusts will get as high as 21 miles per hour at some points. So God help us if, oh my God, God help us if, Jason Sanders is dependent on. I hate to be that guy, but he shouldn't be. We should deal with this handily. But that is what you can expect if you are heading to the game. And even if you're watching at home, that's what you can expect. Laces out. Ray Finkel says, fins up with the $5 donation. Appreciate you, Ray. I hope your real name is Ray. I guess for the sake of conversations at a party, maybe I hope your last name is Finkel, because that's a great conversation starter if your name is Ray Finkel and you're a Dolphin fan, but there's like a 99% chance it's not. So here's hoping your real name's Ray, at least. So appreciate you, Ray. Thank you very much for the donation. And if your name ain't Ray, thank you to whoever's behind the Ray Finkel account. Laces out. And I will never ask your mother for a tour of her house and your childhood room. I may eat a cookie-shaped football, but, and please tell your dad to leave the shotgun by the door instead of holding it when he answers it. I appreciate you, Ray. Let's keep it flowing and going, because we got a lot to talk about with this next portion of the preview. And that is where we're at with the injury report, because a lot matters here. Now, Connor Williams is out. It is not a tear. It is not worsened. It sounds like they're trying to get him as healthy as possible for this game. You know what I mean? For that Philly game, for that stretch, and see where he's at. Nick Needham is doubtful, as is Jeff Wilson Jr. All this after the coaches were telling us Jeff Wilson Jr. is good to go. Also, that Rosenhaus has been telling us as soon as he was ready to be activated, he's going to be good to go. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a talking point. Are we about to see the Raheem Mostert and Chris Brooks show? Is that what we're about to see? Is Chris Brooks about to be unleashed a little bit, or are we going to be back to Salvin Ahmed? So, Jeff Wilson, Hefe, is doubtful. There's a big chance he's not a factor this weekend. So here's praying and hoping that they give reps to Chris Brooks, because that man deserves it. It's probably going to be, you're probably going to have the majority of the reps going. Like if we were to have 55 reps, offensive reps, Mosert's probably going to be in the low 30s. Right? I'd see him 28 to 33 of those reps if we were at 55 reps. So how the rest of those would get split, hopefully Chris Brooks will see the majority of them. But Jeff Wilson, after being activated in that 21-day window, he is doubtful. So that is very, very interesting, man. But remember, no Teron Armstead, no Connor Williams this week. So we're going to have Kendall Lamb, Isaiah Wynn, Liam Eichenberg, Robert Hunt, and Austin Jackson manning the front for Tua Tagovailoa. Now, Alec Ingold, Robert Jones, and Jalen Phillips are questionable. So it'll be interesting to see if Jalen Phillips is active on game day. Something to definitely watch. And on the flip side, Von Bell is out. Austin Corbett is out. Giovanni Ricci is out. Miles Sanders is out. Xavier Woods is out. Chandler Zavala is out. We are talking about some key pieces being out here for the Carolina Panthers. This is nothing at all, ladies and gentlemen, to shake a stick at. All right? That's their starting left guard in Chandler Zavala. He's out. He's done. He's not playing. All right, that's huge. That is huge. Now on the flip side, Von Bell and Xavier Woods, that's their two starting safeties. Do we see Jeremy Chin move out of the nickel into more of a safety role against us? Now, on top of that, Derek Brown is questionable. Brian Burns is questionable, et cetera, et cetera. Taylor Moton is going to be good to go, it looks like. So their line will be intact. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the thing. Derek Brown, if Liam Eichenberg is starting, which is obviously not if, he is, that's got to concern you just a tad. Now, is this Dexter Lawrence? No, it's not. But, I mean, let's remember, Derek Brown was drafted, you know, he's a good player. You're talking about a top 10 pick right there. And you're talking about a guy right now who's got 9 pressures right now. Brian Burns has got 13 pressures. Yetur Gross-Matos has got 9 pressures. So they can get pressure from the interior and off the edge there. And, you know, Derek Brown's already had his hands involved this year as well in terms of getting to the quarterback. So, I mean, he's already got a sack this year. You know, it's going to be Liam Eichenberg's going to be tested. Here we go again, baby. Here we go again when I see that. And Brian Burns, I think our tackles can fend him off. I think there's going to be clearly reps where they try to loop him or stunt him inside and catch us slipping. Let's hope that doesn't happen. I showed a play on Twitter that just shows and highlights the difference of Liam Eichenberg and a guy like Connor Williams starting for you at center. So here's, you know, listen, all that we can do is pray to your favorite deity that everything goes well. All right. But, you know, Austin Corbett is one of their backup, you know, guards. He's looking to come back for them, but missing Chandler Zavala, that's a huge, that's their starting left guard right there, man. So, and Ike Mekwonu has been struggling, right? So, but then you look at Taylor Moton. He was just on rest, but Calvin Throckmorton, clearly he's banged up with that calf injury. So they've got a weakened offensive line right now as you look at the injury report. And, you know, Von Bell is a key player. That's a big, big loss. And offensively, they don't have Miles Sanders. It's going to be the Chuba Hubbard show. Shout out to all the Canadian NFL players out there. So, you know, if Derek Brown ends up not being able to go, if Chandler Zavala, he's out, Miles Sanders is out, Xavier Woods is out, and Von Bell is out, those are some key pieces for them to be missing heading into this matchup. And it gets even more glaring when you look at the team comparison of, you know, here's the thing. When you get into the team comparison right now, look at this. This is why it matters when you're missing Xavier Woods and Von Bell. We have the number 1 total offense, but the number 1 passing offense. We're averaging 327.8 yards per game. Their passing defense is number 5. They're allowing about 185 yards per game. Now, that's because teams can rush 140.8. But if that secondary is depleted and Jeremy Chin is the only thing they got out there, but their interior guys and their edge guys are coming back, hey, you know, it might force you to pass the ball a little bit. But this is how these teams stack up heading into it. Clearly, this should be a dominant performance by the Miami Dolphins. Just when you look at this, the Miami Dolphins are number 1 in total offense with 513.6 yards per game. The Panthers, they are 23rd with 294.4 yards per game. In terms of passing offense, like I said, the Dolphins, they're first in the NFL, but 327.8 yards per game. The Panthers, they're 22nd. They're averaging just under 200 yards per game, and that's coming off of blended in that number is a 300-plus yard performance by Andy Dalton. I mean, Bryce Young, he's suffering a little bit of like what Tua suffered. He's living some of that parallel world of the line ain't living up to what it should be, and the weapons, they're very hit or miss for him. Very hit or miss for him. Bryce Young, he's only averaging himself about 187.5 yards per game right now. So, and you're talking about a guy who's thrown 5 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. He's been sacked 12 times. So, anyways, continuing on here, the rushing offense, the Dolphins are now number 1 in the NFL, but they'll be heading into this game without the number 1 rusher in the AFC, rookie Devin Achane. The Panthers, meanwhile, are 21st. They're only averaging about 96 yards per game right now. Chuba Hubbard's actually averaging more yards per carry than Miles Sanders. He has 4.4 yards per carry with Sanders about 3.1, but obviously the money, right? So let's see. Hopefully Chuba doesn't decide to go off against us, huh? Now continuing on even further here, you look at the scoring offense. The Dolphins are now the number 1 scoring offense in the NFL, 36.2 points per game. They're 25th. They're averaging like half, 18.2 points per game. Sacks allowed, the Dolphins have only allowed 6, which is 3rd best in the NFL. They've allowed 15, which is 21st in the NFL. On 3rd down, they're actually decent. They're converting at a 48.8% clip, but the Dolphins are a little bit better. They are 11th, converting at a 41.3% clip. So only 2 spots off for each other. Interesting stuff there. Now, defense, though. Remember, we got to make up. What people got to realize, we got to make up these Chargers and these Bills games, right? So, because that's 74 points just between the 2 of those games we got to make up. I mean, that's a 37 game points per game average just between those 2 you got to make up, and you've only played 5. So, total defense right now, 353.2 yards per game for the Dolphins allowed. Panthers, they're allowing about 325.8. Now, like I said, they have the number 5 passing defense, 185 yards per game allowed, while the Dolphins, they're allowing about 237.4 per game, which is 20th in the NFL. Rushing defense, the Dolphins are 18th in the NFL. They're allowing 115.8 yards per game. Look at them. Look at them. They're allowing 140.8 yards per game. The Dolphins right now are averaging 185.8 yards per game. They are the 26th rushing defense in the NFL. That's terrible. Scoring defense, they're allowing points. They're allowing 28.8 points per game, which nicely lines up with the Dolphins currently scoring 36.2 per game. But the Dolphins defense, they're allowing about 27 per game. So if you were to look at this, you'd be like, oh, it's going to be like a 29-27 game, but nah. Sacks, the Dolphins have 17 sacks now after their 7-sack performance, which should have been 8 if it wasn't for a penalty last week. They're now 3rd in the NFL in getting sacks. The Panthers are 14th. They've only got 14. But you see, it's only a difference between 3 sacks from 14th all the way to 3rd, right? 3rd down defense. Look at this. The Panthers are 2nd in the NFL on 3rd down defense. They're only allowing a 29.8% clip. So, interesting stuff. You look at the takeaways. They've only got 4, which is 23rd in the NFL. The Dolphins, they have 5 takeaways, which is 19th. And they're allowing offenses to convert at 42% of their attempts on 3rd down. In terms of offensive giveaways, the Dolphins have given the ball away 8 times, as have the Panthers. So there's some parallels. There's some similarities between the 2 teams. But listen, at the end of the day, this is the number 1 pass offense against the number 5 pass defense. So that is an interesting story and headline now, albeit the injuries are piling up quite nicely over there in Carolina. But you got to give Ahiro Evero, the defensive coordinator over there, you got to give him his daps, man, for what he's done and what he's managed to do with those injuries, albeit teams are rushing the ball, which they shouldn't be given the investment in that front. But, hey, man, let's see what we can do this weekend. Let those boys loose, baby. Let those boys loose. That's what I say. So please do me the favor, smash the like button, subscribe if you are new. And with all that said, hey, you know what we do. Now we got to get into the offensive and defensive keys to victory. And I've been meaning to say this. I really got to start ticking off. I used to do it here and there, but I really got to, because every time I watch a game, I say, I mentioned that in my keys, if it works and helps us win or not. So I got to stop. I got to start keeping tally of these, and checking off how many keys were instrumental the previous week or whatever the case may be is. So, because we've been doing this for 4 seasons now. It's the 4th season of Key to Victory. So let's get into it. I think we will start off with the offensive keys to victory for the Miami Dolphins. And it's going to start off with this. You got to let those running backs go to work. Now, obviously, I've got Jeff Wilson in the picture here, and he's not playing. But let these guys go to work. Let them do their thing. I mean, do we have – listen, I know Raheem Mostert, he's had some issues in terms of ball security, and that's never, ever, ever ideal. I understand that. But – I mean, he's talking about a guy who's got 314 yards, and he's averaging 5.4 yards per carry right now. All that said, after what we saw from Chris Brooks last week, I think you got to reward him for the versatility he showed, blocking from the wing-back, tight end, fullback position. But you also got to reward him for what he did against Denver with those 9 carries and 66 yards. Right now, he's averaging 7.3 yards per carry. I mean, the guy had a 52-yard run. Let's see what Chris Brooks has got and what he adds, what dynamic he can add to this offense while we are dealing with the loss of Devin Achane. I mean, Salvon Ahmed's only averaging 4.0 yards per carry. So Chris Brooks is averaging almost double. Just saying. Chris Brooks, 9 carries, 66 yards. Salvon Ahmed, 6 carries, 24 yards. Chris Brooks' longest, 52. Salvon Ahmed's longest, 10. So let these running backs loose. Let them do what they do. Now, obviously, you're going to have to convert your third downs. All right? There is literally no single solitary doubt about it. They are a good third down defense. We just went over it. They're only allowing a 29.8% conversion clip. As an offense, we're converting at about 41.3%, which is just around 10th best on third down. You're going to have to make those third down count. There's no doubt about it. Going to have to be on your P's and Q's when it comes to third down. And, against a weaker Giant opponent in week 5, the Miami Dolphins on third down, they left a lot to be desired. They're only 3 for 8. So, you got to be better, man. You got to be better. You got to get it done. Third down is going to be so instrumental. And hey, then again, maybe it won't be. Maybe it'll be one of those games where they're not even seeing third down. Brad Martin, $5. What are the chances we see? Love you too, bro. What are the chances we see Claypool on a play or two? We're seeing him this weekend. Yeah, I think we see him this weekend, Brad. You said you think it's pretty good. I would say it's pretty good. I think we'd see Chase Claypool this weekend. And that comes into my third point. Challenge the number 5 pass defense. Challenge them. Don't shy away. Don't you dare shy away from them right now. All right? If they got to put, because they could be in a situation right now, Jeremy Chin, he has 139.6 passer rating when he's being targeted. Okay? CJ Henderson has 132.6 when he's being targeted right now. And he might be, at the rate they're going and they're all dropping out there, he might be their best corner out there this weekend. Target him. Let them know what's good. Even their linebackers, Frankie Lavu, he's allowing like 112.7 when he's targeted right now. Right? But if you got to see Deshaun Jameson out there, he's allowing 158.3 when he's being targeted. He's allowed 2 touchdowns on only 9 targets and 7 receptions. So, challenge that quote-unquote number 5 pass defense. Xavier Woods is out this weekend. Thank God. He was allowing a 42.4 NFL passer rating when he was targeted. Von Bell was allowing a 40.6. So those are key players for their secondary that are out this weekend. Challenge that number 5 pass defense. Challenge it. You got the talent to challenge it. Do it. All right? Again, look at this. Deshaun Jameson, Jeremy Chin, CJ Henderson going to be their top 3 secondary options. You're talking about 100. Deshaun Jameson is allowing 158.3 NFL passer rating when targeted. Jeremy Chin's allowing 139.6 when he's targeted. And CJ Henderson's allowing 132.6 when he's targeted. They've allowed 4 touchdowns between the 4 of them. Okay? You want me to do you even better? They've allowed, between the 4 of them, they've allowed 28 receptions on 35 targets. And the yardage between the 4 of them right now, listen to me what I'm about to tell y'all. Between Deshaun Jameson, Jeremy Chin, and CJ Henderson right now, yardage-wise, ladies and gentlemen, they've allowed 383 yards this season. So challenge that number 5 pass defense for the love of God. Please. Challenge it. Challenge it. It's there. It's ready to be attacked. Do the damn thing. All right, over 300 of you in the room. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you are new. Let's get into the defensive keys to victory for the Miami Dolphins. We had to have the Aqua and Orange Thor on this one. Exploit a weak offensive line and build off of last week's performance from the front 7. Guys, we went over the injury report. Okay? Their starting left guard, Chandler Zavala, out. Taylor Moton, he's got a banged up knee. He's playing after not practicing on Thursday. Calvin Throckmorton, after being limited all week, he's playing and he's got a banged up calf. Ike Mekwonu is not playing very well at all. I mean, right now, Taylor Moton's allowed 18 pressures. Ike Mekwanu's allowed 12. They've allowed 30 pressures just off their tackles that'll be playing this weekend. Their center, Bradley Bozeman, he's allowed 10 pressures up the middle. So now one might wish Chandler Zavala was actually in the game because he's actually allowed like 28 pressures this season. But that left side's weak. That left side is weak. I think Cade Mays. I think it's going to be Cade Mays. Probably starting at left guard for them. And when he started at left guard last week, he allowed 2 pressures on 57 snaps. So, and don't forget, guys, you all remember what we did last week, ladies and gentlemen. All right. As an offensive unit with a beaten up, weakened offensive line in New York, we got 38 pressures. All right. We had what, 7 players get in on sacks last week as well. So it's there for the taking. Build off of last week's performance from the front 7 and exploit a weak offensive line right now. And another thing, you're gonna have to force the rookie quarterback into rookie mistakes. That's the reality of the situation. All right, we've seen this too often over the past couple of years with the Miami Dolphins defense, where they're not forcing enough mistakes out of young quarterbacks, where they let young quarterbacks, in fact, get comfortable against them and let loose. We can't have that, right? Bryce Young's had two interception games. He had 2 interceptions against Detroit. He had 2 interceptions against Atlanta as well. So, we're gonna have to. And he's also fumbled the ball now. They didn't lose it, but he's also fumbled the ball as well. So there's some ball security issues. Let's get that football. Let's make it a day in hell for Bryce Young. We don't want to let him get comfortable against us. We don't want him to get settled. Are you kidding me? Nah. Because, and a part of that's going to be stopping Chuba Hubbard as well. Like I said, he's averaging 4.4 yards per carry. Other than Bryce Young, he's the best running back on the team in terms of yards per carry right now. So, listen, hey, make this kid uncomfortable, force him into mistakes, and reap the benefits of forcing those mistakes. And then I think another key thing here is clearly you got to lock down Adam Thielen. Bryce Young's thrown for 750 yards. Adam Thielen's caught 394. All right. Adam Thielen has 3 touchdowns, more than any. All right. More than any player on that team right now. The next best is DJ Chark, has 2. So Adam Thielen is clearly a safety net, and we figured he would be. But this isn't Adam Thielen from a couple years ago. You know what I mean? This isn't Adam Thielen, you got to be worried about. This is like old, broken down Adam Thielen. Don't let him become a safety net and, start putting in that work out of the slot and off the boundary, especially on you. So I think if you take away Adam Thielen, who's Bryce Young's number 1 threat and target, and you force Bryce Young into some mistakes based off exploiting that offensive line, pressures will work with Bryce Young. Pressures will force him to speed up his operations, and he will force him into mistakes. Pressures alone. So I think this is all of it kind of feeds into each other here, right? If you're going to exploit that offensive line and build off that performance from the front 7 last week, you're going to force Bryce into rookie mistakes. And if you take away Adam Thielen and force him to start finding other outlets, you can force him into even more mistakes as well. So that's how I see it when it comes to defensive keys to victory for the Miami Dolphins. Man, we got a chance to go 5-1. Daniel, he says, hey, Reason, You've been right about everything, bro. Sorry to ever doubting you. Do you think there's a way we can trade Chubb and keep AVG next season? I didn't even know you doubted me, Daniel, but I appreciate you. I don't know, bro. I don't know. That's going to be tough to do. Bradley Chubb, when you look at his contract, heading into this offseason, the only way out that makes sense is a post June 1st trade. But you would still eat about $22.5 million. You would eat $6.36 million in dead cap on your 2024 salary cap. And then in 2025, you would eat $16.386, but you would save $20.53 million on your 2024 dead cap. So you would save $20.5 million and eat $6.3 in 2024, and you'd also have a carryover of a $16.386 dead cap in 2025 by trading him. Man, my whole thing is, who are you going to trade him to? You know what I mean? Like, do we really see someone paying a premium for Bradley Chubb right now? Because I think you're 110% right, Daniel. I think keeping AVG is the play, and I think that's what Fangio is going to go to them and say, find a way to keep this kid on my roster. And especially you got to be careful with it, because if you start relegating him to the bench, you're going to kill your value of trying to move him. Let me ask y'all in the comment. Okay, in the live chat right now, in the comments after the fact, after this posted, I want to hear your thoughts right now. What would you accept in a Bradley Chubb trade? Knowing those financials, what would you accept? Because, pardon me, you might be forced into a situation. You might be forced into a situation here. What if you're trading Bradley Chubb in a 7th for a 6? What if his play does not improve? See, I see all of you in the comments, a 3rd round pick, a 4th round pick. What if it comes to you having to trade him and a 7th for like a 6th or a 5th? Think about this for a sec. If he keeps playing on the way he's playing at, what if you have to trade? Because you're asking a team, ladies and gentlemen, you're asking a team to take on a crazy amount of money after 2024. I mean, you're asking someone to take on a lot of money. Because, I mean, let me just tell y'all, his base salary in 2025, $19.45 million. It's the same thing through basically to 2027. There is not a easy out for a team until 2025. You can release him post June 1st or post June 1st trade or post June 1st release. You would eat 6.36 in each scenario for that year while saving 20.23, and then you'd have a 10.025 cap hit, dead cap hit the next year. But then in 2026, that's where you save your 20 point whatever million. You're eating dead cap even in again, it has to be post June 1st release or trade even in 2026. This is not a great contract for us. Let me tell y'all that. So let's see. But I keep telling y'all, when they fix that interior, don't you fret. Him and G. Phillips and they'll get eaten. They'll get eaten. Don't worry. So who's my matchup to watch? Well, my matchup to watch is going to be this. It's going to be the defensive front against their offensive line. Can we continue to build up? Listen, again, you could coin flip it. You could go their defensive front against our offensive line due to the fact that Kendall Lamb and Liam Eichenberg are starting. But they have a chance to disrupt the offensive line. I think this is a bigger mismatch right now for us in terms of, like, I believe in Austin Jackson and his play right now. I'm praying Hunt, Wynn, and Lamb will do their job tomorrow because there's a good chance on Sunday, because there's a good chance they will. Now, Wynn and Hunt might dip a little bit and suffer because of the guy playing to the next to them on the interior being Liam Eichenberg is compromising them, but I still think this is a bigger mismatch out of the two. So this is my player matchup to watch because we could very well be in for another 5, 6, 7 sack performance from the defensive front if things go our way. That's how I see it. And that's my matchup to watch as we head into that. And another thing I wanted to talk about here, I want y'all to listen to it. I don't think enough people talked about it. I want y'all to see how laser focused Tua Tagovailoa is right now because he was asked, he was asked about opening up the season and breaking, going ahead and breaking that early season record in terms of passing yards. Right? So he was asked, after 5 weeks, you have more passing yards than anyone. Well, you're projected at this rate to have most passing yards. What his reaction would be if he finished the season with the most passing yards. This is what he said.
Than anyone. Well, you're projected at this rate to have the most passing yards of any quarterback in history. Obviously, one game longer than past seasons. That your reaction to that would be what?
Oh, it would be nothing.
Cool at all, or no?
Yeah, sure. That'd definitely be cool. If we don't get to where we want to as a team, none of that would mean anything to me. But along the way, if we could get to where we want to get to as a team, and those statistics could follow in helping win games, I'd be very happy.
So there you go. Tua Tagovailoa saying, hey, man, stats don't matter if we don't get the W's. That's how laser focused this kid is right now. That's how laser focused they are in that room. They realize what the expectations are. They understand the expectations are the standard, and they want to live up to them, man. And this is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. Beautiful thing to watch this team come together like this. Awesome, awesome stuff, man. So shout out to Tua Tagovailoa. That's my quarterback. Laser focused in. Padding the stats, but it don't matter to him. What matters to him is the W's that come with them. I love it. Now, my prediction for this game. I don't think it's going to be pretty, man. I'm picking 45-12 Miami Dolphins. I don't know if they're going to score a touchdown against us. Who's going to score a touchdown against us? Adam Thielen? And if you hone in on Adam Thielen, now what? Now what's the deal? I hate to be the guy that brings this up, and maybe you answered it already, but did you see Gronk's interview? No, I did not see Gronk's interview at all. I have no idea what you are talking about. Enlighten me in the chat. Don't know what Gronk said in his interview. I have no idea. No idea what you're talking about, my guy. So let me know in the chat right now. What did Gronk talk about? What's the deal? But, listen, I'm predicting 45-12. I don't think they score a touchdown. I just don't know if it happens. I don't see it happening. I really don't. Guys, all of you, 15% off right now, vibesmiami.com. Go check them out. If you are a Patreon or if you're a channel member, go check the community tab if you're a channel member, or go check your Patreon page. You've got a 25% discount code if you are a channel member, but they got great stuff. My shipment's coming in. I'll show you some of the stuff they got over there. They got a pop-up shop coming this weekend, so make sure you check it out, vibesmiami.com. Kyle says Gronk said he would play for Miami and come out of retirement. Sir, we don't need you, Gronk. We good out here with Durham Smythe. Let's see what we got in Chase Claypool. That man's body's broken down. It's battered. I'm good. Let's keep it moving with what we got in this room. I appreciate that info, Kyle, though. Thank you you didn't have to donate to follow up, by the way, but I appreciate it. But hey, man, listen, I'm good on Gronk. Let's keep rolling with what we got. I want to see some Chase Claypool get massaged in, because even John Embry told us, Kyle. John Embry told us this week he's expecting to work a little with Chase Claypool. I told y'all they're going to put him in that easy role. 11 personnel. Let us run 12 and 21 personnel looks with him motioning in line or motioning into the backfield. It's coming, baby. Let's go. Let's go, baby. So, Patreon members, look for a new episode of 3 Takes tomorrow. Channel members, look for an update, a written version of my 3 takes from a couple days ago on Patreon coming to you today, talking about what's going on with the defense and some underlying tension that was happening. So, listen, let's go. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you are new. I appreciate each and every one of you coming through on this Friday night. Y'all are the best. I love each and every one of you. If you think the Dolphins are going to win this weekend, go ahead, smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. And I will see all of y'all, unless something breaks tomorrow, I will see all of y'all around 12:45-ish on Sunday for the live reaction, and then the 5th quarter post-game show right after. Until then, you already know what time it is, baby. Fins up all day, every day. Love all of y'all. Enjoy your Friday, everyone.